Are you ready?
We're ready. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I am extremely happy to be here with you today to talk about some important work that's happening right here in our community. And I'd like to recognize some folks who are here. We first have some council members with us today. Councilmember Reynolds, Councilmember Legree. We have Councilmember Beasley. Where are you? Councilmember Hale. Councilmember Hale is with us. Are there any other council members here today? Thank you very much for being here. We also have our Commissioner of Public Safety, Ken Armstrong. Our Chief of Corrections, Scott Colvin, is with us. Our County Attorney, Angela Evans, is with us. Where did you go, Angela? Right there. And we're very pleased that you all could join us today. We also have Police Chief Lawrence Weathers, One Lexington Director Divine Karama, and Cities United Executive Director Anthony Smith. Divine has his team members here, Kenneth Payne and Larry Johnson. Cities United is focused on a nationwide strategy to build a comprehensive public safety system to help those affected by violence. In their work, they focus on community partnerships, connecting with elected and appointed leaders, and listening to those who have felt the impact of violence. Their Leading the Way tour takes them to 20 cities that are seeing progress through community violence intervention. With partners like One Lexington, they are helping drive community-based and community-led programs and systems to combat community violence. This is a big effort. Over the past few days, the organization has been working with One Lexington, youth leaders, elected officials, our community partners, and more to discuss our efforts right here in Lexington to combat youth and young adult violence and to explore other ways we might be able to strengthen our work even more. I'd like first to welcome Anthony to the podium to talk a little bit more about their tour, about the stop in Lexington, and what it means. And we're thrilled to have him here in Lexington. Anthony? Thank you.
Appreciate that, Mayor. Thank you. Good to see you all coming out for this important conversation. We've been with you all, as the mayor said, this week since Tuesday, but we've been partnering with Lexington since about 2017 when we came in and started having conversations around how do we keep folks safe, healthy, and hopeful? How do we focus our work on those who are most at risk of being impacted by community violence? And how do we as a city and as a community rally around those young men and women to make sure that they have pathways to safety? So for the last couple of days, we have been really spending a lot of time with different stakeholders, having conversations about what that looks like. What does it really mean to have a comprehensive public safety ecosystem that does not just rely on police to keep us safe, but rely on all of us in this community to keep us safe, healthy, and hopeful? One of our best conversations we had in your city, and most cities we go to, is with young folks, especially young folks who are survivors of gun violence, who have been impacted, who have witnessed it, who have lost loved ones to gun violence, and listening to how they see this work and how they see y'all's city, right? They see lots of opportunity in this city, but don't see that they're connected to that opportunity, right? So they're asking for us and for you all who live in Lexington to make sure that they have access to opportunity so that they can live out their best life, so that they can find their purpose and they can find their vision for their lives, and that they can do that in peace and they can do that in safety, right? One of the things young people will say to us is when we ask them to define public safety, they said it's a place where I don't have to carry a gun. It's a place where I don't have to look over my shoulders. It's a place where I can walk to the store and buy bread and buy milk, right? So they're asking for all the same things that you all are asking for. They just don't get it. And what we're asking cities to do is to make sure that they get that and make sure that they receive the services and the support that they provide. As the mayor said, we're on the 20-city tour. You all are our 7th stop. And along the way, in each city we go into, we're bringing not just resources around information and data and hopefully best supports, we're also bringing money. There's organizations that we're going to make sure to get grants. We're going to give $40,000 worth of grants to folks in your city. Each of the young people who spent time with us this week will get a stipend. They get they got them last night. They got a $500 stipend to say thank you for your time. One young lady took off from work to be with us. We don't want her to lose money, so we wanted to make sure she gets the resources that she needs. But more importantly, this is a conversation for us to help with all of your city, because each of you all have a role to play in keeping this community safe. Everybody can't do the same thing, but everybody has a role to play and need to do something. So we're thankful to be here. We're grateful to be here. We're excited that you all are still doing the work, invested in the work, and creating space for Divine and his team, Larry and Kenneth, to help push the work forward. But we know there's more to do, as the mayor said. So we came with suggestions, we came with recommendations, and we're going to put together a full report around not only what we think should happen, but how we can support that moving forward. So with that, I just want to thank you all for allowing us to be a partner with you all, and hope to see some of you all in Louisville in October when we host our 12th annual convening. You can go on citiesunited.org website and get your ticket today. We would love to have you on the ground with us in October as we do more work, and you get to see the bigger picture of the work as we do it across the country. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Again, we are really thrilled to have you here and to be having these conversations in our community. One Lexington has been working with Cities United to build strategies and programs that have helped reduce youth and young adult violence in Lexington. Cities United, as you heard, is committed to resources and money to help our city's efforts during their tour stop, and we are thankful for that support. Additionally, One Lexington has been reimagining the city's community-based strategies to address youth and young adult gun violence. Following several community listening sessions in partnership with the Community Innovation Lab at the University of Kentucky, our One Lexington team has developed the 2025 through 2028 Comprehensive Strategic Plan, with a focus on the all hearts on deck approach, the Cure the Violence model, and the peer framework. I'd like to ask Divine Karama to come to the podium to talk about some of the great work that has been done through One Lexington and the updated strategic plan, which has just come out. Divine?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. First, I want to acknowledge Cities United. As Anthony mentioned, they've been partnering with the city for almost a decade. I remember I got the opportunity to work with the Coach Initiative and bring some young men into the recording studio. Got to work with David Cozart during that initiative, so I met them quite a while ago. We would not be where we are today if it wasn't for their tutelage, their coaching, their mentoring, and they're doing this all over the country. Also want to shout out our mayor and our current city council and our previous council. This is the first time we've seen this type of investment into this issue, right? And so what we are doing right now has never been done before in Lexington on the community-based side. I also would like to acknowledge our previous mayor, Jim Gray, who created One Lexington, as well as my predecessor, Laura Hatfield. She did a lot of amazing groundwork early in the inception of One Lexington, especially in the Wimburn area, bringing community partners together. I also want to acknowledge my brothers in arms, Larry and Kenneth, but I want to put a specific focus on those individuals and organizations that were doing this work way before One Lexington was created. Gun violence prevention wasn't the popular thing to do at the time. There was no cohesive infrastructure, there wasn't no ecosystem, but you had individuals that were turning their pain into purpose in doing this work. So you have organizations like OMAC and MAID. You have a Tanya Lindsay with SWAG. Rest in peace to Miss Anita Franklin. Also Damon Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. I think of a Corey Dunn. I think of all of these individuals who are doing this work, and essentially we are standing on their shoulders. And so really quick, before I continue with my remarks, can we give those individuals and organizations a round of applause? We are here today to talk about the release of 2 documents, and this has been years of work. The first document is our current plan, which we are operating in right now, which is called All Hearts on Deck. And this plan is informed not by just me, not by Cities United, not by the mayor, but by you, the community. When we had our strategic planning session back in 2022, we had youth focus groups. We brought faith leaders together, survivors, former drivers of violence themselves. We brought public safety in, the school system, the judges, different experts, and they informed the strategy that we are currently using. And for the first time, we have that strategy on paper, and you can go to the website to see exactly what we are doing in Lexington, Kentucky. I know a lot of people say, so what are you doing that is making such a difference? We've seen almost a 60% decrease in gun violence over the last 3 years, right? And we try to tell and explain, but to have that document laid out so they can see the work that our community partners are doing, I think that that's very important. But also coupled with that document is our updated plan, because we know that there's shifts within this work all the time. And we have a commitment to staying up to date with those shifts and updating that strategic plan, and that's what we did back in February. And so we brought the community back together, we updated that plan, and now we have a vision for the next 3 to 5 years. And there's a lot of things that came out of that. Some things that we're going to be able to do within city government, and some things that are going to be in the community's hands. But again, this isn't our voice, this is the community's voice. So when the community says we need more accessible community centers, that's what the community is saying, not just us. When the community is saying, okay, One Lexington, we hear you, but we need more survivor-led organizations that's leading the fight. Okay, so how can we as city government invest in those survivor-led organizations? And so there's so many things that came out of this strategic plan. We are excited to partner with you, the community, to make those things happen. And hey, we may never see 0 homicides, 0 shootings, but we're never going to stop working until we do. And so I think the one thing that we want you, the community, to know, that this is your plan, that you have a voice. And not only are you just speaking, but we are listening. And everything we do moving forward will be informed by your will, by your voice. But you have to continue to show up, not just at public forums, but when it's time to vote, when there's council meetings, school board meetings. Show up, and I promise you, if you continue to show up and speak, we will continue to listen, and we will do the work for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Divine. I believe our Fayette County Sheriff, Kathy Witt, has joined us. Thank you very much. We have Moms Demand Action here. Councilmember Sheehan is with us. And thank you all for coming. Finally, it's important to recognize that, and Divine kind of touched on the beginning of this work is everybody's work. It's your work, it's our work, it's our whole community's work. And as we go forward, we realize that we are developing and we need more and more partners. This is about good, strong partnerships. And so as we do this work and we ramp up even more, we will continue to rely on our work with our police department. because that's a huge part of this also. That team, our police department, has been with us every step of the way. They have supported the One Lexington work. They have looked at how we can partner differently, and they have also worked on reducing youth and adult gun violence. And Chief Lawrence Weathers has been right in the middle of that for quite a long while now, and I'd like to welcome him to the podium. Chief?
It's good to see so many community partners here and public safety partners here. You know, everybody's been talking about it, but I was thinking, and I had to write down some notes here, but you know, and I think it was O.G. Wilson who said, the police are the people, and the people are the police. So if we ever want to get things done right, if we ever want to see things reduced, we do have to work together. And that concept was developed in the 70s. So it's not anything new. What is new is people starting to act on it, people starting to actually invest in it. And this is a great team, great people to work with. And I just happened to be here at the right time when the right people got put in place. We're very fortunate. We're very fortunate in Lexington to have a strong public safety team, and that includes our sheriff. That includes our sheriff, Kathy Witt. Our Fayette County Public Schools Police, the University of Kentucky Police, and even Trinity Public Safety. You know, all those people are involved in it, and all these people are committed to keeping this community safe. In Lexington, we've always had a strong focus on community policing. But well before that term became, I guess, famous or put out there, you heard in the media that we were committed to working with and serving the people of Lexington. We understand that it takes all of us to keep our community safe. That's why we must meet people where they are. And that means we can't have a cookie-cutter response to events that occur. We have to look at them, see what variables are involved, and we have to address that. You know, we can't look at things as being part of a system. We have to look at ourselves as being part of an apparatus, kind of accessible on every level. Because see, in a system, when somebody gets outside that system, we just put them back in at the beginning and start them through again. And that's kind of like a meat grinder. When you have an apparatus, no matter where they are, you can put them in touch with the resources they need, and they can get the help that they need or the resources that they need without having to be ground up. And that's what we're about. That's what the focus on the PARA initiative is about. Prevention, intervention, enforcement, and reentry. Those are things that have to be focused on continuously. And I'm telling you, it's tiring because you can't stop, because the world is an ever-changing place. And since everybody wants to place me under the enforcement portion of it, I'm going to have to tell you that I don't just focus on the enforcement. We focus on the prevention. We focus on the intervention. And when I talk about enforcement, I'm not talking about taking people to jail. I'm talking about holding people accountable. And I'm talking about holding them accountable, not to my expectations or the mayor's expectations or even their expectations, but the community's expectations. That's what we are for, you know, and we have to be involved in that physically. And that's why it's tiring. We have concepts out there, but nothing gets done unless we work. And work means getting physically involved. You know, it's leadership that's made this happen. You know, from a public safety standpoint, if you go and you talk to our commissioner, Ken Armstrong, he will tell you that public safety as a whole is committed to One Lexington. And One Lexington means just that. We are not separate. We are not individual. We have to be together. What's that saying? And somebody remind me where it comes from. It says, united we stand and divided we fall. We cannot afford to fall. We are grateful, very grateful, to have the mayor that we have and the council members that we have. You know, if it wasn't for them being open and approachable, this would not be a reality. They support public safety. They support One Lexington. Over the past couple of years, we have enhanced our technology, and we have invested in our best assets. And that's our people. And that's what we will continue to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Weathers. Again, we're so happy that Anthony and his team are here in Lexington. Some of his team are throughout the audience. And we appreciate the partnership and relationship One Lexington has been able to build with Cities United. We're all in it for the same reasons, right? And so we thank them for their financial support, as well as what they have done to do some evaluations of our work. It's always important to know what others think of the results and the evaluation. And we want to thank them for their support of our youth, of our young adults. And as we all know, public safety is the foundation of a healthy community. There's no getting around it. And so we all must continue to advocate for, to work with community partners to address those who are affected and to give them hope. You mentioned that in the beginning, Anthony. This is about hope for a different kind of path. And so by working together like this, we will continue to make our city safer and safer. And I thank all of you for being here, and any of us are available for one-on-one questions. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.